Speaking of football, the hot topic, what we're talking today is first the Le'Veon situation. Le'Veon Bell, he hadn't reported yet. I haven't heard anything yet. It was rumors that he might come in today. He kept saying he's going to be here right before the season.
Got to get his game checked. Got to come today.
Yeah, so he's supposed to be there today, but there's a lot of people mad at him, man. The offensive lineman, Villanueva, especially the offensive lineman came out. All
Foster,
Pouncey. Quickly, what is your thought? How do you feel about them coming out? And then I guess you can, talk about the Le'Veon situation in itself.
I think that if you are so-called family, if you're in this family, you're a locker room family, and one of your brothers are in negotiation trying to get his situation squared up, then I think it's a no comment rule. We family. Mm-hmm. You keep it inside of the locker room. You basically just put all of your family business to the world. Just keep it in house. You don't speak on, the what's going on. He should have been. You never should have said anything. Just stay quiet.
You know what it is? Usually a football team follow your leaders, right? And I'm not saying this guy is a leader as far as speaking, talking to the team. I don't think so, but he's a leader in as far as what he does on the field. And when you see him do something, you're going to follow. And I'm talking about Antonio Brown. When Antonio Brown, when he came out and he came out in preseason or before preseason during training camp, and he said something to the effect of, when your other teammates or whatever, when everybody's not here and everybody's not on one accord and they're selfish. He said something like that. And I remember I said something like, "Yo, why is he saying that? Why is he doing that? Right. Like, you're the leader, bruh. What?" And now look at everybody else. Now AB is trying to be the peacemaker. He's saying things like, "Well, when you're your own, when everyone's not here and it's divided, and it's not good." Ooh, I was about to say something, bruh. You was.
Well, yeah, Antonio Brown might be the wrong guy to say something like that, but like you said, it should be something that's kept in house. Right. Because now what the linemen have come out and said, that's what makes it worse. Like, these are the guys that block for you,
exactly,
and I'm sure he's treated them well, when he's had these great seasons, but for them to come out and say, well, he already makes 7 times more than me.
Come on, man.
Like, you're not looking at the other side of it, which is basically we've talked about this for years and years, how running backs have been treated as far as how much they get paid. They're getting paid for the position, not for what they're actually worth to the team.
And he came out and said that was his focus. He was like, I'm not even just doing this for me. He was like, I'm looking at running backs now, the running back position. We've been treated horribly.
I was listening to a show the other day, and there's someone who said, like, how does Todd Gurley get that huge contract when he hasn't even some people may think he hasn't caught up to Le'Veon Bell as far as how good he actually is. He's had 2 good years out of 3 years,
right,
while Le'Veon Bell has had at least 4 good years.
Well, that's easy because Le'Veon is playing with Big Ben, AB, everybody he's playing with are like past their rookie contracts, whereas LA, Goff is in his rookie contract. You have so many people. That's the biggest where you can pay Le'Veon that money. They even said it itself. They said when they signed Gurley, they were like, it was good that Goff is still in his rookie contract that we can do this.
But to G's point is Gurley hasn't caught up with the value of the position that.
Right. No, I agree.
That
like
Bear
he's
has.
One of those that's getting paid for what he can do in the future.
Right.
While a lot other running backs are getting paid for what they've already done, and they may fall off a cliff.
But then again, though, now just on the other side, when you have Case Keenum as your quarterback with a Jeff Fisher as your coach.
That's management fault.
But that's my point. So you can't how you gonna be successful when you got 11 up front playing a run, when now you have a quarterback that can run. Now it takes the pressure off Le'Veon, and I keep saying Le'Veon, off Gurley. Now it's like, we got something. We saw what he could do. But again, the reason why Le'Veon can't be paid that, or they don't want to give him all that money, is because they know they're gonna have to pay AB. They might have to pay him again. They got other players that's coming up that they want to pay.
Pittsburgh just don't do that. Let's just keep it real. Pittsburgh, the organization, has been strict on how they distribute money, and he's been suspended twice. And he wants to get paid like a receiver and a running back, because he is truly a receiver.
And a running back.
This is Marshall Faulk all over again when you kind of look at it as far as the receiving and the rushing.
I also consider that he's under they gave him the franchise tag for the second time.
Right.
So what happens a lot with players, and especially running backs, that's why it's always a running back issue, is that if you're a first round pick, you get a 4-year contract, a 5th-year option, and then they can franchise tag you twice. Mm-hmm. That's 7 years.
Right.
That's
really
your career.
Exactly.
The biggest part of a running back's career is those 7 years. So, but he feels like he hasn't been paid his worth over the course of those 7 years. So he's trying to get money back.
Right.
But
I agree.
The way that these players' contracts are set up, it's not conducive for players for teams to pay those players if they don't really have to.
And
especially running backs, because they lifeline is not as long.
And that's why I understand what he's doing. He's trying to make that. And he's, like I said, he's not only doing it for himself.
He's trying to be Kirk Cousins, but it's close to impossible.
Because when you look at it, G, the run after it, they fall off quick. When you look at running backs in the National Football League, they're going to keep using him. Remember, he had 406 touches last year. If he even comes back and play this year, and he can come week 10?
Week 11.
Week 11, he can play and then be a free agent for next year. They go work him. So they're saying, well, we'll let somebody else pay you all that money. Mm-hmm. We've gotten what we've needed out of you and things of that nature. But he's doing it for the running back fraternity, I'm pretty sure.
With him he's 26. A lot of teams, like, when you're 28, 29,
yes,
that's when the other shoe can drop at any moment.
Right. No.
So
it's the truth.
At 26, they're like, the Steelers may be being like preemptive here. Was like, no, we're not going to pay him. Not long term. We'll pay him for this year. But what the players want, and this is what the NBA players do, they can sign those 1 or 2 year contracts. NFL players can't do that because you never know what's going to happen.
But before we move on quickly, they did offer him was it 4? What he wants? What?
Bro, it was a slap in the face.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that bad what they offered him, because it was like $3 million. It was like,
it wasn't nowhere near what Gurley is getting.
I think it was like 5 for 60 or.
But nobody expected Gurley to get that either, though. Like we
but again, if you paying for the value of the position, if he sets the tone, then hey, you got to pay the man too.